This is a typical day for Miaman Mohammed. The Iraqi lawyer spends each day fighting the crowds at the National Population Office in Basra, in southern Iraq. The majority of these people have been displaced by violence and are trying to transfer the residents to Basra from some other city.
My work is on legal issues concerning marriage agreements, identity certificates, issues concerning children, health, women. These are more or less the issues we work with.
While it sounds mundane, this exercise is quite vital because without documents there is no access to food, aid, or education for their children. However, many of these people fled without their papers and are unable to return to get them. Together with the UN Refugee Agency, Miaman helps the most vulnerable among the displaced to get their files in order. The Karar family left their hometown when the violence became too much. They left without their papers and lived in a sort of limbo in Basra. They are one of the thousands of families that have fallen through the cracks, but their situation is more complicated. Karar's parents are invalids and her brother is deaf and blind. Yet without papers, they weren't eligible for assistance. Miaman was instrumental in getting them registered.
We were living in our old house for 16 years. We had just bought a new boiler, a generator, and air conditioners, and they took it all. I just wish we could get the rights to our house.
It's estimated tens of thousands of people have moved to Basra in search of safety. The conflict has uprooted an estimated 2 million people in Iraq. Ethnic violence has torn many communities apart and forced thousands of families to flee. Many end up living a makeshift existence, building their lives and homes out of whatever they can find.
There are some people who have lived 20 or 30 years in their house and have lost all their rights. All these people were thrown out into the street. Some have built a basic place to live in, and others are renting. It's been 1 year we have been suffering. It's only now we have been able to rent this house.
The family of young Nasser might also be out on the street if it wasn't for him. He's the only working member of his family. They live in this tumble-down house on the outskirts of Basra.
My father cannot work now. I had to give up school.
To help feed the family, Nasser earns a few dollars a day buying and selling flour. Recently, the family received some help from UNHCR to begin building a more solid house. Still, they are lacking many basic conveniences, like running water and electricity. Nasser says he misses his former life in Baghdad, but not the violence.
Yes, I remember our house in Baghdad. It was big and comfortable. We enjoyed living there. We were evicted. The neighborhood got a threat letter, and then they started kidnapping and killing. You would leave the house and find bodies on the street.
Both of these families are now registered and will receive some assistance. However, there are thousands of other displaced families who are still waiting in queues, hoping to somehow re-establish their lives.